From Jersey to Georgia and all realms in between, you're listening to Always Live, a podcast about music, news, culture, life, and whatever else we think about. Hello, I'm Uncle Jenny.
And this is Chadwick.
And this is Always Live's first political discussion debate, per se.
Why is that?
Well, our generation, sometimes they make us seem like we're, clueless, mindless, brainless, human beings that just kind of follow the bandwagon. And I wanted to just talk to a few people that I know in my life that are very vocal politically on different things. We have today Tonika, who is from New Jersey but currently lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Hello, Tonika.
Hey guys, glad to be here.
How you doing?
And we have Mr. Joe Mike Hunt, who's been here a couple of times, a couple of our episodes recently, and he is very, 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 very vocal on the lovely social media about just anything that he's passionate about. But he is a history buff, and he has some things, but he doesn't vote. He hasn't voted. He doesn't vote. Doesn't believe in voting. He supports people, but doesn't vote for them, and he doesn't vote. So he posted something today that has been, pretty much popping on Facebook. So I wanted to kind of bring him in, discuss his post, and kind of go through some stuff that some people were talking about. But also, things are happening. Big shit popping right now up in the political world. Wouldn't we say?
Yes. There's a lot of shit happening at the DNC.
Can you give me a short version of what's happening right now?
Lies, corruption, and basically everything that we already knew has been proven thanks to the Russians. I don't know, that's about it. Long story short. But there's actually a new thing that just came out. Donald Trump has called for Russia to hack the Democrats even more, and to find out where all the 30,000 or so lost Hillary Clinton emails are. So a lot of people are saying that this is basically a felony now that he's committing to call for Russia.
Maybe he's trying to just I feel like he's trying to get kicked off the campaign, and just seeing what's going to happen, and then Hillary Clinton will rise to the top like the freaking Empire State Building or whatever, Mother Liberty, as the first woman, president of our great United States of America.
Wait, hold on. We don't have Joe Mike Hunt on right now.
No, we do not.
He'll be here soon. Just to clarify.
He's got, by the way, yes, I'm sorry. He's got a couple of to-do lists on, stuff to take care of. So
he's a busy man.
He's a busy man. So, Miss Tonika, I noticed something recently while grazing the book, as Mr. Fishhead likes to say. And I realized yesterday that you will be voting for Hillary. Is that correct?
Well, first of all, give us a little bit of a background.
A background of yourself. I apologize. Yes.
Yeah. So tell us what you've been involved in, and what made
your history in the political.
What made you want to support Hillary now?
Yes, exactly.
So I would have classified myself as an independent mostly because I don't like labels. And so as an independent, I like to be able to make up my own mind before I'm told what to do. And of course, I was feeling the burn all primary season like any rational person. But now that our choices have been whittled down, mostly I'm voting to keep Donald Trump out of the White House because I think he is a lunatic. And so my motivation very strongly has been to keep the White House out of the hands of probably one of the most insane people to run for president in a very long time.
Okay. Yeah. I think most rational people would agree with that Trump would be a terrible choice for president. But there are a lot of people that aren't necessarily convinced to vote for Hillary because she's in many people's minds just as corrupt as Trump is, and maybe she knows a lot of stuff. She has actual ideas and platforms on her website listed neatly, while Trump has like 6 or 7.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Hillary Clinton has a lot of issues. I'm not saying that she does shady things, but I'm saying she does a lot of things that look shady. And so it makes perfect sense why people are a little weary when it comes to her. But at the end of the day, this election cycle is particularly important because the Supreme Court is up for grabs. And I think, if nothing else, Hillary Clinton will not appoint a super conservative judge, the likes of Scalia, who we've just so recently been fortunate enough to be spared of.
Yeah.
Like so.
In other words, you're glad that he's dead. And I think a lot of people are.
Wait, who is this? To people
Justice
that aren't
Scalia.
versed in the sort of like that deep in, you know? What?
So Justice Scalia is a notoriously very conservative judge who often was very vocal and very bigoted in his closing remarks whenever he'd make a judgment. He's also largely to thank for George Bush being our last president, as he was part of the deciding vote to decline a recount.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's ultra conservative, and he's he's voted on pretty much everything in the most right way possible.
Right.
He shouldn't have been a judge in the first place because he obviously has a bias, and
Yes.
all politics are corrupt in some way or another, and he should have never even be put on in the first place. But he recently died while on vacation, and the seat has been open for quite some time. And I'm not really well versed in the Constitution, but as far as I know, they were already supposed to vote in a nomination from Obama, but of course the Republicans refused to do that. So the seat is still vacant, and the Supreme Court is not at full strength.
So who could get that spot? Like, what kind of person gets that spot?
Well, usually the President, Obama in this case, would nominate somebody and they would vote for it. And I think eventually they would agree on somebody.
So who would be up for that running?
Whoever the president nominates.
Oh, they're not saying anything right now about that? Like, that's not their
whoever
concern?
he thinks is fit to fill the vacant spot.
Yeah, there were like a number of really prominent names, I guess, that were being tossed about. Loretta Lynch was one of them, who is now the Attorney General, if I'm correct in that. She's very powerful. She's very pro-civil rights. And she's been a huge supporter and advocate of most minority groups, both sexual orientation and racially speaking. But she, of course, would not get a hearing. And some of the more moderate people that Obama had suggested did not get a hearing because the Republicans just refused to budge at all.
Yeah, and I think that, like, for one, I am not going to vote for Hillary because I'm not going to vote for the lesser of two evils. I think her main appeal is the fact that she's not Trump. So I don't think that anybody should be president if that's their main, claim to fame is, hey, I'm not Trump. So I'm not voting for her. And I think the only rational reason to vote for Hillary is in order to fill the vacant spot in the Supreme Court with somebody who's logical. But I'm still not convinced, though. That's the only problem. And with us right now is Joe Hunt. He just joined us. What's up?
Sorry, I was just done filming. I just got caught up with, I lost track of time there.
Filming what, per se? What were you filming?
I started a YouTube channel talking about vinyl records. The name of my show is Vinyl Vision with Joe My Cunt, and I just filmed a video where I went through and I pulled out my favorite album art of my collection. So I was talking about my favorite album art today. I pulled out like 10 records just to do something. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
feeling that Matt conducted.
Thank you. Yeah,
I should have grabbed my vinyl, had that ready for you, so you can peep that I have.
I hit up Devlin not too long ago. I'm actually going to end up getting a copy from him.
Awesome. That's awesome. Joe, this is Tonika. She is from New Jersey, now lives in Atlanta. She's a friend of mine. We went to a Bernie Sanders rally together. She was a Bernie supporter, is currently voting for us now, a Hillary supporter. She also graduated from Rutgers. So, right? Am I correct? It was Rutgers, correct?
I did, yes.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yes. And what do you do currently? What's your role in the sort of like working world?
So I actually work for a PR firm, and I do public health campaigns.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I think no, you just got this job, right?
Yeah, I just got it.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Are you happy?
I'm super happy about it.
Yay, that's so good. Yay,
awesome.
That's awesome.
Congrats on the new job there, Tonika.
Thank you.
Is it Tonika or Tonika? Tonic water? Oh, okay. Tonika.
See, I say tonic, like my bartender instincts, like, I apologize, Tonika, my apologies.
She's thinking alcohol. So today, Mr. Hunt, your post is making waves.
Yo, man.
I saw that as soon as you posted it last night. And
well, I feel like I cleverly like to post stuff very late at night. That way, when people start their day, they can chime in.
That's so good.
But by 10 a.m., I kind of regretted it because
there's so many Facebook posts that I regret too. And
basically, I put up a Facebook post.
But were you like? Did you post it in a fit of like passion? Because usually
not really. I just really like, now that the nominees are official. Now it's definitely Trump versus Hillary with Gary Johnson and Jill Stein dicking around on the side.
Mr. I will take a stand and not vote. Mr. I will not do nothing. Mr. I will look.
Exactly.
That shit.
So Jenny's already coming out swinging.
Basically, I just wanted any Trump supporter to come out and tell me why they were voting for Trump, because I can't fathom it. I really cannot fathom how anyone will vote for Trump. Even if you're playing the lesser of two evil cards, like, how could you hate Hillary that much that you're voting for a guy that has no stance and nothing going for him? I just don't get it. I just can't fathom it.
Joe, he's a businessman. Okay, he knows how to run.
He's
things,
a failed businessman. Like, he pocketed money.
He knows this place is a shit show. He's just having a grand old time with the world, just playing it like a fiddle. Did you see what he just did? Like, we just began talking about this. He asked Russia to please hack the emails so that he could. When I saw that, I didn't even want to watch the video of him saying these words. I looked at it and I said, yep, he probably said that shit. And now, the world is mad. We're already
nothing
in this.
Phases anybody anymore. Like, he says something and I just keep on scrolling. Like, Donald Trump
says so many outrageous things. It is impossible to believe that. All the ridiculous things.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
I honestly am no longer surprised. I think the people that are voting for Trump realize clearly with the land of Pokemon Go, yes, I'll bring it up again, that it's like, we're living in a cartoon. This is Roger Rabbit.
The Simpsons had Donald Trump winning the presidency 15 years ago.
No. I read up on that. That wasn't real. That was actually, it was a remake. It came after. Yes, because.
That happened on The Simpsons.
No, it wasn't I saw that video and then I read some comments about that.
But it happened on The Simpsons.
Yes, but
it wasn't like a reality on The Simpsons, but it happened on The Simpsons.
They predicted the poster board dropping at the same time.
Okay, stop. I'm not claiming all the predictions that somehow The Simpsons alter reality. I'm just saying that it's such a ridiculous thought that Donald Trump is becoming president that they put it as a joke on The Simpsons, and then now he's running for president. And he has right now the popular vote. I saw a poll where he has like 52 or almost 53% of the vote.
And this is why I have to say this. Mr. Hunt, this is why you have to vote, because you see how wild and crazy. No, don't roll your eyes and like throw the fucking, jerk off and splat in my face right now. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just telling you, this is why you have to vote. You're talking so much shit. I've seen people that are just as passionate as you that are actually doing something out there and speaking at these lines and talking to people and just convincing people like why they should vote. All the stuff that you believe so strongly about, you need to tell other people, not just us. Go out there and vote at the lines and do your time.
I think that I can understand when there's no compelling candidates at all, and stay at home, and like rub one out, whatever. But like Bernie Sanders was absolutely compelling, and he talked about all the things. He resonated with all the young people.
Now, he's hot as broken.
But Bernie, like, he's definitely a motivator to go outside and vote. Like jumping through all those hurdles just to get registered as a Democrat, it was definitely worth it. Even though New Jersey fucking let him down. I
was pretty proud of you guys, you and Mr. Fishhead, when he sent me that letter saying he did. I was like,
I'm surprised Mr. Fishhead voted. I'm surprised by that.
But I will say this: you're voting for Jill Stein. Correct?
Yeah.
I would vote for Jill Stein. But, if I would be voting, I would be voting for Jill Stein.
Chad here will be voting for, for
Is
Jill
she on the ballot in New Jersey? Because she only has it on the ballot in like 20 states or something.
Yeah, I'm
She's only on the ballot.
Really? She's only on?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
She's only on the ballot in like 23 states, I think.
If she's on the ballot, I'm definitely voting for her. If not,
Sorry, Tonika, what was that?
I was going to say, here's the thing about these security votes. A lot of people don't realize that in these great United States, if no candidate gets a majority of the vote, they send it to the House of Representatives to vote on. That means that the decision on who to become the next president of the United States is going to be in the hands of a very politically divided Congress, which means that it will more than likely be Donald Trump. I'm all for voting truly for who you believe in theory, but I feel like this election year, it's so important to vote strategically. At the end of the day, Donald Trump is such a threat, I think, to our national security, to our ways and life, that it's worth voting against him in a strategic way.
To me, it's kind of like choosing your poison. Like, all right, so I'm going to poison myself by voting for Hillary instead of getting shotgun blasted in the face by Trump.
But we know what Hillary's about. So Hillary has a proven track record. We know she's shady. She'll take some money off the side. She will end up in some weird kind of scandal, but she's not going to do the things that Donald Trump is going to do.
Exactly.
But is she really going to adopt anything that Bernie Sanders was going for? Because she just lies. Like, there's no.
Maybe not, but she's not going to do what Trump's going to do. So that's my point. Like, even if nothing changes, even if she just toes the line, because she's a very safe kind of person. She doesn't take risks. She's not innovative. Even if she just toes the line, I think it's still better off than what our future looks like with Trump.
There's a lot of evidence, though, that she's way more hawkish than Obama was, and she's very conservative when it comes to foreign affairs.
I agree, and
she might get into another war.
That's true, but I'm positive that Trump will not only get us into wars, but he will alienate all of our allies. They're already scared.
Yeah, Trump is, deep down inside, he's like a little bitch, though. Like, he's an isolationist.
Yeah, Gary Johnson called him a pussy.
He's an isolationist, and he's all talk. Like, he's just a little bitch. He'll get himself into a war just by talking.
Trump is brain from Pinky and the Brain that finally made it to the top, okay? Like, that's who he is. And Hillary Clinton is Lady Elaine Fairchild from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Like, the whole thing is, these two, like, caricatures just, like, somehow, like, made it up there, and you're just, like, none the wiser, like, what the fuck is going on? Meanwhile, Grandpa from Up is just, like, fucking, like, doing his damn thing and not conceding no matter what, and then he had no choice. Like, till the last moment, this motherfucker did not. He had a way to tell us to vote for him, even though he couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Bernie is dope. Bernie's
that cute little old man But that's why, like, for me, it's like I would rather we pay attention to the Senate seat and like all of these people sort of like find someone to vote properly so that we have more people on our side. And that way, if it's Jill Stein that gets the Senate seat or Bernie somehow gets it, or like, you know, we get someone else, like, you know, I don't know, Nina, whoever, like these people can kind of get to that point because to me, I'd rather not vote than vote for Hillary. I don't want my name on any sort of like information and like they have my password and all of a sudden Hillary's like coming to my door and shit and surprising me. I don't want that. And like I would much prefer that, you know what I mean? Like we kind of like pay attention to like that stuff in the inside.
What you're saying right now is perfect. And an election year is not a year to start a revolution. It's a year to, you know, pick the better of the choices. You know what I mean? Like Bernie Sanders started something that isn't going to end.
Yeah, you know,
kind of got shit moving. You know what I mean?
But people have
in reality, whether Trump wins or Hillary wins, neither of these candidates are going to serve 2 terms. Like, let's be real. I doubt Hillary is going to win a second term.
And
in the next 4 years, there is going to be some sort of grassroots kind of revolution, if you will, to cause a stir to get shit moving in the right direction.
But aren't you like a little bit like afraid that maybe like the revolution might like die down though? Like people have short memories.
I don't believe it.
If Hillary gets elected, like if people are gonna just like
people are so pissed off
back into their complicit.
Did you see those tears? Those people, they were protesting. Like, you know, Elizabeth Warren had to like literally act like it wasn't in front of her as they were jeering her. The best part of the Democratic whole convention, the DNC, that what we saw for the Democrats was that they allowed everyone to stay and no one was real. Like these people were crying. They knew they were nonviolent. They knew they had a passion of something to say. And that's why I feel like maybe voting the Jill Stein, do you believe that anybody in there, as divided as it is, would actually vote for Trump when it gets to that? I would feel they would, like, Hillary would win by a landslide even.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I think that a vast majority of America does not look like your friends, does not look like my friends, does not look like the people who are on our Facebook. They look very different.
And they sound like this.
I live there. We're living in it. They're all around us right now.
They're all around us.
They're going out into the wild.
Hey, what are you talking about?
And the thing too is, which I noticed based on my Facebook post today, a lot of Trump supporters, they're afraid to come out. There's only so look at it this way. Like, Trump supporters are afraid to come out because I don't know what it is, but they're afraid to come out of the woodwork. They don't want to speak their mind. They all want to play the card like politics is something personal and you shouldn't really discuss it, yada, yada, yada.
They go by what their parents believe and they don't understand it. And they think the simplicity of it all is, the rich get rich, whatever. I don't even want to talk about it because it's annoying by what they're like and every time you try to give them informational facts, they break down.
Isn't it really like disturbing though? It's disturbing like how much like these people like keep this inside and how much like they, you know, the silent majority comes out of the woodwork and you know, like
absolutely
things are as progressive
on their side. Yeah. Clearly Donald Trump is not a blue collar worker. I'm not sure where the connection comes from.
Well, that's the story of the Republican Party. Like, anybody like who's blue collar will vote Republican, but they're shooting themselves in the foot, and they don't really realize that. It's ridiculous
because they're too stupid to realize.
They really. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And cannibals are going to elect cannibals as their leaders. And if Donald Trump becomes president, that really speaks a lot for what this country is. You know.
I mean, isn't his house made of?
I really don't think he wants the job. I really don't think he wants the job. I think at this point he doesn't want to seem like a fucking idiot. Like I don't think he would want to go out. But he's just a buffoon. Like you saw him on The Apprentice. I like the show. Then who knew that this was where he was gonna go? But at the end of the day, it's like I really feel he's just like it's like a little kid that like got Legos and they built a whole like dynasty. You know what I mean? And he's just like mad excited and he's just like, what can I do?
Dynasty.
I don't care. I have money. I'm married to like hot bitches that can't speak and like I don't give a fuck and like, all these things and like these kids that look inbred but they're not and it's just like I don't even understand it. Like,
has anybody seen that What's the name of that comedian that crashed the Republican convention and he crashed like Alex Jones? That was one of the funniest videos I've seen in a long time. His name was like Andre something or
That
was pretty freaking hilarious.
Black Lives Matter.
That was pretty, and he just letting them. You know who he reminded me of? Our friend MC Harizzle. Like I feel like that's something he would have done.
The best was like when he was trying to crash the Alex Jones rally outside.
I want you to have sex with my wife. No, seriously. Here's the key to my hotel room.
Genius.
It was so good. It was really good. Yeah. I saw James Corden. I thought it was funny. It was just a side. He had a way of I recorded it. I posted it on my page. He had a way of kind of like showing Hillary Clinton as a puppet, and she's like, "I will be the next president. I will be the next." And he's asking her all these questions, and she's like, "But I will be the next president. But I will." And it's just like a constant. Like it's just funny, just especially after the whole DNC thing came out. What were your thoughts when you?
Well, it's just validation. We all knew that they were working against Sanders anyway, and they tried to make it seem like that was just paranoia. Yeah. And then these emails get leaked. Yeah. And it's just proving what we thought all along.
But that's why I'm curious why you ended up why did you decide to go the Hillary route?
I'm not a Hillary fan, and I probably will never be. Okay. But I am terrified. In real life, I'm terrified about what Donald Trump could do to this country and the kind of energy that he brings out and the kind of people he could enable. I just refuse to let that go down.
All right.
sorry.
No, go on. No.
Well, I was going to say that this might seem like really like pessimistic, but it's almost as if like we deserve that 4 years of Trump because of how fucked up like things have become. Like it's all rigged and shit. Maybe if the world is not destroyed in the next 4 years, that people will finally wake up. Like Trump will be like a horrible, but it's going to be such a shock to the system that things will like the revolution that Bernie's been talking about will finally like come into fruition.
Oh, it's going to be scary. You did mention though, I just want to say, because when you posted it on Facebook, it was like, regardless of my feelings about the HRC and they are conflicting, I still acknowledge the significance in her achievement. The first woman nominated for president by a major party. Wow, it's been a hard fought battle in the primaries and an even harder journey throughout her political career. Great day in history. Let's continue to shatter that glass ceiling, girl power. So you really felt that part of it.
I did. I think that had a tough time.
You're breaking up.
A tough time being seen as equals, a tough time being taken seriously, and she's had to confront a lot of sexist comments, regardless of how horrible she might be as a person. She's had to deal with some comments that were just sexist and not based on anything substantive. And so I think it is a major moment for women, and for a little girl to be able to grow up and see a woman being president and know that that's a real possibility and not just being told. I think that's great. I think that's a great moment.
Do you think it even matters, though? Because in my opinion, it's like you would think that after Obama became president, that would sort of like resonate with like the world itself. But it seemed, in my opinion, that it only made everyone just crazier. And then re-emerged the Black Lives Matter sort of like world, which we already knew was happening, but we only know now because it's being seen because of social media, because of electronics. But it's not like it wasn't going on, forever and ever and ever and ever.
Well, I would argue that it just made us confront our reality, which I think is good, because if you don't confront the reality, you can't change it for real. And so it's on one hand, these things were going on anyway. The racism existed anyway. These challenges were there anyway. But I think that Barack Obama did cause a lot of strong feelings from a certain demographic, and they responded very much in a very public way and through trying to block him in Congress. And I think it's good at the end of the day that we have to get through this. We do.
I mean, I guess I can sometimes hear why people take that, that look at it. But in my opinion, I feel like it brings up a lot of anger that doesn't necessarily need to be there. And yes, it's like facing our reality. Cool, I get it. No one's acting like we don't live in a land where bad shit happens. and we saw that from the very beginning with Vietnam when, sort of people started emerging out as activists and everyone started, why? Because of television and because they actually saw what was going on. So it's like, I feel like with that, it breeds a new kind of hate and anger, and it pins people against each other, because there are people I went to high school with that their best friend was like whiter than me or my whitest friend, and I say that in like a context where color didn't seem to have mattered at one point. And now these same people that are in theater and in these things have these posts that are just so like, this story, and you see what happened because of that person, and they're offending their friends. And it's like a white this and black this, and it's not even a sort of like, this sucks because these are people, these are humans. And then, people that say all lives matter are now being really ridiculed as if it's not, something they can say, because why can't we look at us living on Earth in this world, and we're just different shades based off of, the sun, coming down on us, which and when, and who our ancestors are. And why does it have to now be bridged up into states and countries and identities and things like that? Because is that not a part of reality as well?
Well, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say, I think that America in general just has a great issue with just being very cocky. Like, there's that famous clip from the show Newsroom where it's like, Jeff Daniels goes on that spiel about how America is not the greatest country. Look at like South Africa, how Nelson Mandela became president like right after apartheid ended. Like, how far behind are we from that? Like, segregation ended, there was a span of 30 years. I feel like racism and sexism is so much more alive in America than what people realize and think and see every day. Like, other countries around the world, they've been electing female, I guess prime ministers or presidents or whatever,
like
leaders,
England,
if you will. Yeah. For how long now? For 30, 40 years? Like, how behind in the times can we be if we're so innovative in technology and this and that, and we're number one, yada, yada, yada. Like, I feel like we need to face reality and see that we're not the best. Yeah. And we need to start working from the bottom up to make ourselves more, incorporated. Like, I always tell people, like, especially New Jersey, like, we're all from New Jersey. We live in a bubble, man. Like, the diversity we see on a daily basis is not reality. This is not America. New Jersey is not America.
You're right.
It's not America at all.
1,000% you're right.
Not America.
That's true. But
like, our Facebook feeds are very different from Facebook feeds in, Wyoming and Idaho and
exactly.
Or the
That's
Texas,
very
Oklahoma.
Very
it's
true.
Just insane. And like, I feel like we need to work on just becoming more united. And it's like, I almost agree with what Chad said. Like, we almost deserve Trump to be our president in a way. Like, to kind of just
have that shit blow up and like, have it blow up in their face.
Yeah. Like, this is the reality of what you did to yourself. Like, if Trump becomes president, all those people that voted for Trump and the shit hits the fan, then it's like, damn, maybe we really fucked this up.
Oh my God. And then the psychopaths will come out and everybody be wearing hooded KKK masks. There already is like a story going out with them like, no, we cannot even no, we do not deserve this.
Listen, you know what? You know what? Trump is going to scream out the loudest about how America is the greatest country in the world as soon as he becomes president. And you know what? If you scream it loud enough, maybe it'll come true. Even though we're not doing shit to progress at all.
How did that work for George W? I feel like that did W a chance to scream America is the greatest.
Number one!
That didn't work out too.
You know what? The Bush thing was a joke, but we already knew that was a joke. It just proves that we're a bigger joke because now here comes Trump. And that's what, that's why sometimes when I see this Trump story, the whole Black Lives Matter story ends up becoming just too much for me to even like pay attention to the both of them and breathe light to so much, because it's like, I'd rather focus on something that's going to be productive where I can sort of conduct actual change. And if
people think that Black Lives Matter conducts actual change, it's a political platform. They have things that they're moving for.
Are you not pro Black Lives Matter?
No, I'm not.
You're all lives matter?
I am all lives matter.
Do you not realize that doesn't make sense in the state that we live in?
I'm sure it doesn't. I've seen some memes that, have kind of like made fun of that, people that say that all lives matter. And that's because, like I said, I look at it, this is how I view my world. And this is why
Let's see how you view your world.
I view my world that I
manifest at Bonnaroo.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That was rude.
I mean, it is what you is, but when you experience something like a life and death experience, you kind of can transcend outside of yourself, and where all the other stuff that promotes anger out of people as a way to voice their opinion is not a stand that I really want to take, where I'm going to constantly be mad trying to kind of like dialogue a point to people against it. I know what I believe in. And I know that, yes, this story is sad. Yes, this story is fucked up. Man, I wish this didn't happen. It doesn't mean that now I have to look at you because you're white and kind of make it seem like I'm inferior, you're inferior, or we're living in this world.
I'm pro Black Lives Matter.
I know you are, but I'm not talking about you in general, so don't take it personally. I'm just saying in a conversation of context between white and Black people, which now when I look on Facebook, I see people that used to not see that now so strongly because the information is now coming up. You're also a person that hates police. So let's put that out there. That's why you're very much so passionate about this. I'm not saying you don't have Black friends. I'm not saying that you don't, but you hate the police a lot. So that's the first.
I think that's a very layered conversation. I think Black Lives Matter is about stopping police brutality, and I don't see how you could be against the idea of stopping police brutality.
I think the slogan Black Lives Matter is a little bit misleading, though, because it should be stop police brutality. It should be as simple as that.
The reason why it was Black Lives Matter is because it happens that police brutality overwhelmingly affects Black lives, and thus they're just trying to say that, hey,
I agree.
Treat us with the same dignity that you treat everyone else with. And to your earlier point, Jenny, I feel like you can acknowledge that we're all one person and still speak to your experience as you experience it on this world. So yeah, we're all one people. We're the same people underneath the skin. My skin color does give me different experiences, whether or not I signed up for that. Mm-hmm. It's just the reality of the world we live in. And I think there's a way to speak to those both.
Yeah, but it's like, for me, you know why it got more passionate? It's because the people that stand for Black Lives Matter get upset with the people that stand for All Lives Matter. And why should they turn around and attack them for it's not saying that doesn't. And I get where you're, why this is sort of like a passionate, piece. I understand. Trust me, I do. Especially as, a Haitian American coming from different, a background and seeing, growing up in African Americans would, look at Haitians and, we were mercilessly treated like animals. Me and my sister did not tell them that we were Haitian until we pretty much graduated, and we became friends with the Haitian kids. But it was a sad thing to see, brutally treated like animals. And so it's like, I guess eventually after I grew up and, you kind of experience your world and you see sort of like things and you understand just how it works. I think that sometimes, we have to look at I'm not saying that that's not a stand that shouldn't exist. I'm just saying that why should, it be such a big battle when there's so much more things that we can sort of can you imagine yourself in the sort of situations that they're in? And that's what I always think. I've been stopped by cops a lot of times. I'm sure I've had guns pointed at me. I've had over 6 or 7 guns pointed at me. So,
are you serious?
Yes.
For what?
My cousin,
over?
No, in Florida, which is the worst state you could ever deal with cops.
God.
Yeah.
You remember when the SWAT team came in my house?
Yeah, we had SWAT team at your house. We got stopped by yeah.
I remember when that happened. Yeah.
And it's always a sort of why can't we now converse, because this is happening, sometimes I feel like I see there is a stance that people are taking. Did you see what happened in Atlanta with the protest? With the trucks, and the truck is trying to get to one side. Now people are throwing things at the trucks, and it's starting to get violent. I mean, I will say Atlanta did a really good job.
It was largely peaceful.
Yeah, no, it was very peaceful compared to the other places that I'd seen. I was actually I wanted to actually even go. Did you go or no?
No, I was going to a pizza place nearby.
See, Jenny, the bottom line is the problem with being all lives matter is obviously, it's like the cliched argument now, but like obviously we all matter. Obviously we're all one race, but we're not all being oppressed at the same rate, which is why Black Lives Matter is an important subject and an important.
But what are we going to do about it?
I think the focus
drawing attention to it is the first. That's the first thing to do.
But that's the right thing to do. But the focus should also be on like what is oppressing Black people. What is it? Is it?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that the drug war is one of those things that oppresses.
Of course it is.
So if you eliminate the drug war, you make the relationship between cops and Black people way better.
I think that's a poor thing because I feel like there's white people do drugs at a higher rate. That's already been documented.
Yeah, but
also I would say that.
But that's only because like we're more abundant though in the country though. That's the only reason why. See, the thing
do it at the same rate side by side. Blacks and whites consume drugs at the same rate side by side, but blacks get incarcerated way higher side by side.
Yeah, the prison populations are extremely like
because of the judicial system, and it's just. Yeah,
I take issue with this idea that because Black Lives Matter aims to focus on one aspect of Black oppression that they somehow are discredited. I feel like, there's cancer organizations that focus on cancer. It's not like, well, because they don't focus on every aspect of what makes people sick, they somehow are not a legitimate movement. And the same thing with Black Lives Matter. They are specifically focused on addressing police brutality. There's a lot of other different organizations that are aimed at addressing other problems in the Black community, and it is multifaceted. But I think that's an important voice.
And I 100% agree. I think that my anger stems from the anger that comes out. When I watch certain videos with the protesters, when I saw in Atlanta, if it had been like that everywhere, you would never hear a peep out of me. I think that,
But you also wouldn't see it on the news.
Right. Well, that is true. But, that is very true. But we do have the social media and we have these sites and we have all these things. So something would have happened. But my whole thing is just like, I don't know, man. It's just like, it starts to get frustrating because each individual story, when you look at them, sometimes there is a bit of a defiance that initially creates. And while everyone can say that, and I agree, like they should tase first. I think that when we speak, especially when the Black Lives Matter have a moment to speak, we need to give solutions as to what. It's not like now we take over the streets are ours and they're not yours, which means what? If I get raped, then I'm screwed? You know what I mean?
Well, you're screwed anyway if you get raped because of the rape culture in this country, so.
Black Lives Matter does have a full platform of things that they would like to see addressed, and it's on their website.
Hold on, Joey, are you serious? There's rape culture in this country? Are you being serious?
I'm being very serious.
There's no rape culture in this country.
It's giving me anxiety.
Do you think that there is no rape culture in this country?
No, there's rape culture.
What does that mean? No. And I don't know if I want to know the answer.
Yeah, elaborate.
Basically, rape culture is basically saying that it's okay for men to take advantage of women in certain situations based on how the woman acts.
Yeah, but
that's basically the general consensus of rape culture. So, like, when a girl gets raped, she got raped because she's too drunk. Oh, she got raped because she was wearing a short skirt. Oh, she got raped because she was dancing that way. That's rape culture.
I'm not convinced because usually rapists, they are tried and sent to jail for raping people.
Really? Do you know the numbers of that? Like the rape convictions in this country?
Do you know that 1 in 10 rapes go unreported? But nobody encourages rape in this country, though, unless you're a fucking psycho. But
here's how they do. They say that to ask a woman permission to have sex with her is weird. It's for losers. It's somehow not socially acceptable to say, hey, are you sure you want to go through with this? That is seen as weak, and that's part of the rape culture because somehow asking for consent is not deemed like something you should definitely be doing with your partner.
Yeah,
exactly. But
there's been cases at colleges where the guy and the girl are both equally drunk. They've both been drinking a lot, and they have consensual sex, and then the next day, the guy is accused of rape because she didn't really consent. It's like a full reversal of what happened the night before. Like, if anything, like it's the complete opposite. It's not a rape culture. It's like the guys are increasingly being held accountable in this country.
I feel like the numbers don't prove that at all. Like if you look at statistics about sexual assaults and rapes in this country, then you will see that there is a big issue there
But to say, like, when it comes down to it, though, it's misleading to say that this is a rape culture. That's completely outlandish.
Okay. To generalize and say that the United States has a rape culture is one thing, but to say that it has an issue with rape culture is a different thing. So maybe that's what you're saying. Like, but we're walking a fine line here,
guys. I don't want to pause this invigorating conversation, but unfortunately, Tonika has to leave right now. She has to. Well, I don't know what you have to do, really. I think you have a phone call, but
she's busy.
No, I have a work phone call that I actually got this stuff on.
But it was great having you. Please know that you are always welcome. I just enjoyed discussing and dialoguing with you. And
thanks for coming on.
I'd love to come back.
We would love to have you back.
We would love to have you back. All right.
Sure.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
So can we switch topics? I don't want to talk about rape.
No topics are off limits.
That's
part of the problem. That's part of the problem.
I just don't want to talk about things that are not true, Joey.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about things that give me anxiety. Okay. My world is a bubble. I live on the earth.
Okay, go to some Middle Eastern country where they actually kill girls for being raped. Like the girl gets raped.
The ones that you want to be hood.
No. That was Mr. Fishhead.
Okay.
Mr. Fishhead was saying all those things. All I was saying is that it's perfectly okay because in the Quran it says that all men have the ability to do anything they want to the women.
Pretty sure it says that in the Bible too.
I know the Bible is fucked up too. The Bible is fucked up too. All I'm saying is that in Sweden, there's a lot of ghettos that a lot of refugees are going to.
has a solution for this. It's time to de-hood the women too. Fucking barbarians and shit. They're like cavemen. I would like to start yanking the hoods off their women right in front of them. De-hooded savages. Gotta hood their women because they're savages and their women would rather be non-savage.
Jetty, he said that off the record. Okay.
It doesn't matter. It was on my record, and that's why I'm saying it.
Wait, is he talking about like moving like the hijab or whatever?
Yeah,
is that what he's saying?
The religion world, where we agree with Trump, where we should keep these savages away from the United States. And
wait, are you telling me that he's a Trump supporter? I mean,
yeah.
No.
Okay.
His word,
I was gonna say no.
No, he was saying that obviously he hates Trump, but he was saying that the only thing that he agrees with
hates Trump and Hill Dog
is that Trump. The only thing that Trump is right about is the whole thing with the Muslims. That's what he said.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, no comment on that. I disagree as an immigrant. So of parents, children, child of.
You're an anchor baby, bro.
I'm a what?
You're an anchor baby, bro.
I have never heard that term. What does that mean?
That's like when immigrants come over here and have a baby so that they can stay.
No, my parents were here for 3 years on the United States.
It was a joke. I'm just saying. Now that you know what an anchor baby is.
That's a pretty good term. I like that.
No wonder I didn't know because I'm not one.
Now you can laugh at the joke.
My dad was in bands playing nightclubs, and they were hip hopping around town. That's what they were doing for 3 years in the United States.
He was in a hip hop band?
No, he was in he played the guitar in like a just kind of 70s band. Like he was just like fucking.
That movement sums it up perfectly.
Did he play Funkadelic? He was Funkadelic.
He was probably one of the Funkadelic. I'm sure he knows them. Like there are pictures of them. Like my mom's looking like this, like glamorous. Like she was like chilling with like Tina and them. Like it's just like wild. Like I've seen these pictures. And I'm like, no wonder I am who I am because my parents were about that movement. So that's what it is. But yeah, it's pretty.
So what's the next topic, Jenny?
I didn't. I
whatever you want it to be.
Whatever you want it to be. Let me see. Oh, Radiohead. Oh my god.
I tried to get tickets to the Radiohead.
Yes, you did.
On StubHub, but it was a roller coaster ride. The prices went up, they went down. They didn't go down enough though. It was, like the lowest price I saw was like $250 this morning.
Yeah.
And
can I say something? Because you know me, I always like to be right. Did I not tell you yesterday to get those tickets?
Well, which ones?
Wait, was the price
Radiohead? Yeah. Yes, they were by at least $50. Yeah.
200 still like.
No, he would have done it. He would have done it.
I would have done it for 200. Yeah, that was my limit.
Yeah, I would have done it. Like that was like, I wouldn't care where I sat. I'm there. That's all I need. Just put me there.
I'm going to see Night Party for free on Saturday.
But guess who's there right now? Mr. Sherman Mush is there in GA section.
Mr. Mush. Yeah, he's on the floor right now.
On the floor. On the fucking floor.
And somewhere on the stage is Tom York and Co killing it. I'm jealous.
It didn't start yet.
I'm jealous, right?
Well,
8:30.
I think it starts at around 8:30. Actually, I think.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh my God! Right now, he's like his magical voice is like just transcending along the crowd, and a purple mist is just like entered everyone's little heart bubble.
Was it poison? No.
No, it's just magic.
Usually, I associate purple mist with poison.
Oh, sure. Maybe that's what I had enter me at Bonnaroo. So, like, who knows?
Wait, Joey. You should tell the story about what happened with the SWAT team at your house that you were alluding to earlier.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, basically, like this is when Jenny was crashing on my couch in my room. This is this period of time. And, after a night of partying, we probably had a chocolate bread show, probably, assumingly. Passed out, whatever, went to sleep. I guess it was like, 7:30 in the morning or something like that? Basically, the doorbell rings, Alan opens the door, and there's a SWAT team walking in, and, like, I'm walking out because I'm like, why is the doorbell ringing? And then Alan opens the door, and there's a fucking... they have I guess they must be like the AR-15, whatever the version they use. They have the guns out. Everybody freeze, get down. They zip tie our hands. They handcuff us with zip ties. And at this point, you say like you're gonna do certain things and like protect your rights or whatever. But now like anybody was like, do you have a search warrant? Do you know what's going on? Like nobody knows what's going on. So eventually they make their way to my mom's room. And they wake up my mother, and
she looks right in our faces.
She's like, "What did you do? Like, what did you guys do?" And I'm like, "I don't know what happened."
I'm none the wiser, but I'm not covering for anybody. That's all I'm saying.
So it's me, Jenny, and my brother zip tied on the couch, and my mother comes out. I'm like, "What did you do?" And then, like, once my mother comes out, they sit us all down on the couches in the living room, and they tell us what's going on. Basically, we were under investigation for downloading or promoting or something to do with kiddie porn. So basically, what it ended up happening
had a statewide search. It was like happening all over.
It was a whole statewide sting operation that came out. Kiddie porn. And basically, what ended up happening was we had an open Wi-Fi network, and it turns out that our neighbor upstairs was using our Wi-Fi network to download kiddie porn. Now, it was very intense day. I mean, like, being zip tied and being questioned by like state police and
over how long was this for?
It was probably like a 4 or 5 hour period total.
Shit.
Yeah, zip tied.
And it like interviewed like individually. But the whole morale with the police changed as soon as I told them that we had an open Wi-Fi network.
Yeah,
because basically they traced the IP address. But long story short,
we had to pretty much wait until they caught him. Like it was like we're like locked in until he came home and was arrested. And
was it at work or something?
I don't know. Probably hustling his kiddie porn. But basically, like they still had to confiscate all our computers. I mean, they still have it to this day. They still have my hard drive. They have all my computer, and that like pissed me off because like it's still like property because the whole thing is still under investigation or whatever. I don't know, but like they still have all our computers.
It takes years for those things to
exactly. And it sucks because that like summer I had been like downloading like a fiend and shit, and I like had like 70 gigs worth of music that I've been downloading and accumulating this crazy discography, and then like
gone.
Bye. Like, I was so mad, and like in the back of my mind when it was all happening, I'm like, are they busting me for like illegal music downloads right now? Like,
oh shit, that's what I'm afraid of. Like, I'm afraid of that to this day.
Yeah, we thought that for a moment. I remember I thought that for real. I was like, is this real? This is how they treat people?
Stop downloading all the Thursday albums.
No, but at that time, there were stories coming out around that time that people were being actually busted for that. It was like crazy.
It was really a really intense experience. But I mean, I've had the police run down that house a couple times. I mean, there was the time where like my mom was just helping out a coworker, but it turns out she was underage and she was with this guy who was over 18 and he was being charged with kidnapping her. And then they busted down the door and came in and like took them away. And then like, you know, crazy shit, man. 281 Concord, man. Crazy shit, bro.
It's seen a lot of shit.
But yeah, it was a very intense experience with the police. And I mean, I've had a lot of run-ins with the police, which is why I am anti-police. But it's funny that you said that, Jenny, because like today I saw a shirt. I read an article about how like Forever 21 got in trouble for some like youth boys T-shirts where it's like "Hello, ladies," like but like made for like 8-year-olds or whatever, and like they got in trouble for that because I don't know, whatever. But there was like a thing.
Forever 21 is a religious thing. That's why.
Oh yeah, there was it was in the article too about that, how like they try to promote Christianity and all that subconsciously.
Did they really?
But
yeah.
But it was like, you know how like on Facebook, like if you watch a video or whatever, if you read an article, it has like related shit underneath. It like promoted T-shirt Hell, which is like this website where they make like these really fucked up T-shirts. And like I was like, oh man, I forgot about this website. So I went on the thing, and one of the shirts was like, I hated cops before it was cool. And I was like, damn.
That's pretty good.
That website used to be like far worse. You ever go on it like back in the day when it was like hell and then hotter and then like
yeah. Well, no, they still have like all those really fucked up shirts, like the Pillsbury Doughboy, like going like white flour, like all those really fucked up shirts, like pictures of the pyramids and then like slavery gets shit done. Like yeah.
What?
It's called t-shirthell.com. They have like really just fucked up t-shirts.
Okay, so they still have the fucked up shit then.
Yeah, they do. It's still there.
T-shirt Hell.
That is wild.
We're promoting those racist fucks.
But I mean, like, and then I didn't
wait. Did Bill O'Reilly make any shirts about slavery on T-shirt Hell? Yeah.
Dude, that whole thing is crazy too, man.
What a fucking complete waste of fucking life. Piece of shit.
Bill O'Reilly, man.
Wait, what happened?
Bill O'Reilly was responding to what Michelle Obama said in her speech about how the White House was built by slaves, and now
I saw that, but I didn't play it.
And then Bill O'Reilly was like, "Oh well, the slaves were treated completely,
but they were
fairly.
well fed,
and they were well fed
and well lodged."
He's an asshole.
Eat a dick, you piece of shit.
He's an asshole.
Like, how can he even process these thoughts?
Yeah. Exactly. He doesn't give any fucks.
Well, this is the same guy that said that he explains the tide going in and the tide going out by saying that, because the Bible and, Christianity and God. No, asshole. It's the moon's gravity bringing the tide in and out. Like, I don't know. My dad watches Fox News. It's fucking terrible. I have to see that fucking piece of human garbage almost every day.
If I ever walked into anybody's house that I cared about and I saw Bill O'Reilly on the TV, I would just smash their cable box. I think.
No, you wouldn't.
Don't come to my house between the hours of 7 and 12.
Put a parental lock on Fox News that never tell them.
Have you done that before?
I was thinking about
that's genius.
I was thinking about doing that. I was thinking about doing that when I was mad at my dad.
You thought about doing that before. Oh my god, I wish you did.
It just would have caused more trouble, and he would have made me switch it back anyway.
You would act like you don't know what happened.
Call Comcast or Fios. There seems to be a parental lock on Fox News.
Yeah, just one channel. Isn't that weird? Just this one channel has a lock on it. Odd.
What's the code? F you. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of, we're going to have to bring it down very soon. Anything interesting going on with anyone recently? Ooh, has anyone done anything cool? I went rafting. It was awesome.
I went to the beach on Sunday and got really sunburned. That was fun. It was my buddy Nadim's birthday from work, so Saturday night he had people over. He made some rockin' short rib tacos. We got drunk.
Well, so we go rafting down this 2-hour, the Chattahoochee River in Georgia, and it's pretty cool. 2 minutes until we're we ride down, we stopped off at a spot, we had like these these bowls, like speakers, and then we played music, like all the other rafters came like on the thing, so we like pretty much like started a party real quick, got back, my friend, our daddy, Ruel, or Mr. Brizown or Ms. Brizown, whatever he wants to be, he came through, and so it was like a really good kind of like, day adventure, and we get back on the raft, and I'm like, all right, this is good, like life is good, this is awesome, I had a really good, trip. 2 minutes, I see the shoreline, I'm like, word, all right, it's about time to, get going, and somehow, real quick, I'm now in the water, and like, it's like life or something pushed me in, and I'm like trying to swim and grasp a hold. I grab on one raft, I grab on the other raft. My sisters grab me on the wrist, like holding me, making sure like I don't let go of the holder. So I'm just kicking. And Ruel is completely oblivious of what's going on. He's like, save my flip-flops. Mind you, like the water, like you don't really know. It's like a rushing river. So you're not sure, like, there's like a moment where you got to make sure you're paddling closer to the, the shoreline of where you're trying to go, or else you're going to go shoot right past it. So that's like, you could look at people that have shot right past it, and they've got to like grab the thing, find a spot, and like, hike their way back, to shore and shit. And so I'm standing there and like, I'm paddling. We're like, my sister's boyfriend, Gabe, he was in the Marines. He's got like, this is like a rescue mission and shit.
When do the mermaids come in?
They're coming soon. So I'm pretty like calm throughout this like whole, situation. And then all of a sudden I feel like things are moving faster than they were before. And I'm like, what's happening? And on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side are two females. And Ruel turns and he goes, mermaid saved us. And then so they're like swimming. So one has one hold of one part of the raft. The other has a hold of the other part of that. And then they're swimming. They grabbed actually we had floating devices, like those little life jackets that we didn't use. So they were like hooked onto the thing.
I have a side question. Were they topless mermaids?
No, they were bikini wearing
Those
mermaids.
are my favorite kind of mermaids, the topless ones. Sorry.
They were bikini wearing. They had the seashells. So anyway, they start swimming and literally bring us to shore. And I was pretty calm the whole time. My sister was more nervous for me, but I was like, I could swim. You remember, Joe? I almost went far out in the lands of.
Yeah. We were on the beach in Belmar before a bar A session, just, like swimming around real quick. And like Jenny just like starts drifting away, and like the lifeguards are like blowing their whistle and diving in Baywatch style to rescue her. And she's like, I'm fine. And gets dragged out of the water, and she's like, I don't know why they tried to rescue me. I'm like, because you were not responsive and like floating upside down in the water.
Loving it. It's the first time I've been like in like I used to go to the pool all the time as a kid. We'd go to the Poconos. So it was just like, oh wow, this is like my childhood, and I'm like floating, and I'm like in the water, and it's like woohoo, the sun.
And then they're blowing their whistles. When you're on the beach and the lifeguard blows your whistles, you gotta like make sure like you look.
I'm partially deaf from all the shows I went to, standing in front of the fucking speaker as they're blasting my souls. Like I'm the one, when you put up the thing on your phone, I put up the volume and the phone's like, please, you cannot like maximize this because you will blow out your eardrums. I'm like, it's okay, they're already blown out. Like just max volume, please, thank you. So yeah, but it was like a good kind of like experience. I told my sister, I was like, just know when you're with me, there's some shit has to always pop off because it's just not fun enough. Like
if I were you though, I would be afraid of gators. You're like in Georgia and shit.
There are no real stories of gators in Georgia. That Florida shit, them shits would have been snapping at my ankles in 3 seconds. I would never go fucking rafting in Georgia. I mean, ever.
Louisiana.
They're like, here we have like otters, we have beaver, we have like
mermaids.
And mermaids, yeah. We finally found out they exist. That's pretty cool. It was a really good moment. We saw them at the end returning their raft, and the three of them came out because only two of them saved us. The other one stayed on the raft, and their mom came and picked them up. They were probably like maybe 17 or 18. They were young. And so I was like, we all waved, like me, Ruel, my sister Gabe, we're like, bye mermaids, thanks for saving us. And they're like laughing their asses off. Like I was like, oh man.